So one topic I really want to talk about is Florida's no-fault law. And it's not a trap for Florida consumers. It really isn't. The Florida no-fault law is really, it's a different type of law. And Florida actually is in the minority of all the states because we still have what is called the no-fault law. Okay. And the no-fault law is really not what the title says because, well, in a way it is, all right? Because if someone's been involved in an automobile accident, no matter who's at fault in an accident, there are two cars coming together and collide, and the two occupants, two drivers in the car, are injured. The no-fault law comes into play, okay? And so basically, no matter who's at fault in the accident, each driver in that situation would go back to their own insurance company to pay their medical bills, their lost wages, their mileage to and from doctor's offices, their household help if their injuries prevent them from doing things around the house where maybe they have to bring in a maid, or if they did their own landscaping, mowed their own grass, now their injuries prevent them from doing that, then it would pay for those services. So a lot of people get confused about it because they think, okay, well, I didn't cause the accident.
It's not my fault. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not my fault.
Why should I have to go to my insurance company or whatever?
That's right. Why? Oh, and I can't use my insurance company on this because I didn't cause the accident. And what's it going to do to my premiums, That's what everybody's concerned about. But it's the law in Florida. And
is there any case where you could step outside of that, where that would be null, I guess, if that makes sense?
Well, listen, there are situations where the no-fault law doesn't apply.
Okay.
For instance, if you're on a motorcycle and you're hit by a car, your motorcycle is not, the insurance. Well, for one thing, you don't need insurance to legally drive a motorcycle on the road.
Oh, really?
And so you're not allowed or required to have no-fault PIP insurance.
Okay.
The no-fault coverage or the no-fault law, the coverage that backs up that law, that's attached to that law, is called PIP, or it stands for personal injury protection. And so, but if you're on a motorcycle, you're not required to have PIP. And therefore, you don't have no fault. You don't have the coverage.
Wow.
To me, it doesn't make sense. I think something must have happened with some lobbying efforts because they know that when you're hit on a motorcycle, you're going to get hurt.
It's a lot more. Yes.
There's a lot more risk for the company.
And that would be why maybe insurance companies wouldn't want that to be a rule for motorcyclists? Exactly.
And I think that's something that got carved out back when they were debating this in the legislature. And, it's too bad because 90% of the time you're injured if you're hit on a motorcycle.